What's up guys, gals, and non-binary pals? Welcome to Art by Flan. Today we are doing the first in a series of videos. There's not going to be a set time schedule for these or anything. I'll just be doing them periodically when the mood strikes me, where I'll be doing a picture of one of my OCs and kind of talking about them a little bit. To sort of share them with the world and let you guys get to know the characters that rattle around in my brain. I decided to start with probably one of my favorite OCs, Cezar. His name is Cezar Novak, and he is a prince. His story sort of begins with his parents. His father is the heir to a kingdom. His mother is sort of a pirate who comes from a country his father's kingdom is at war with. So it's kind of a star-crossed lovers thing with his parents, and after Cezar is born and his mother passes away, his father takes him, but he can't actually, have a bastard child in his kingdom, especially not one that comes from one they're at war with. So he kind of puts Cezar on an island home he has to be raised mostly by nannies and tutors and things like that. So needless to say, Cezar does not have a great relationship with his father, and he doesn't really remember his mother because she died at such a young age. So the island is sort of where Cezar's story begins. He is kidnapped by Lyra, whom I've drawn a picture of before, and sort of her original plan is to use him for ransom from the king. His father is now king. Sort of use him as ransom to get what they want from him, but you know how that tends to go. Wacky things ensue, and they end up sort of catching feelings for each other. Whereas Cezar is head over heels in love with Lyra. Unquestioningly, Lyra does sort of not feel the same for him. Her emotions are a little bit more complicated, and it's best left to her actual creator to discuss that. But Cezar does fall in love with her, and she doesn't reciprocate entirely. She has a bad habit of toying with his emotions, and it does very much affect him. He is a total sweetheart, and in his youth was a bit of a playboy, hitting on anyone of any gender. He didn't care. I like to call him my bisexual baby. He is very sweet, very polite, being raised in a sort of royal household, I guess you could say. He's very, well-mannered. He's very well-versed in politics of his country, and he's also a very skilled musician. As you can see here, he is playing the violin, and that is his first love forever. He does get married, not to Lyra, to another woman, who he does care for, but that relationship is eventually destroyed by his inability to remain faithful to her because of his feelings for Lyra. Like I said, Lyra is a bit of a sore spot for him throughout his life because of his feelings for her, and it does cause him a lot of strife. It's one of those, would you please just get over her? And he can't. He can't do that. So, yeah. But behind Lyra and the violin, his next great love is alcohol. He is a bit of a drinker, a bit of a connoisseur, and he does enjoy to do that in his spare time. He does have 4 children. I don't know if that's relevant, but I wanted to mention he has 4 children. From his first wife, Calliope, he has 2 twin boys, Levi and Orpheus, and from Lyra herself, he has 2. Zelos, who's a bit of a wild card. He's a bit of an anomaly in the world and in the story, and his pride and joy is his daughter, Tekla. That's his youngest, and they have a very close father-daughter relationship. As Lyra is not there to be a parent. She doesn't really want to be a parent. So she's never really around for any of the kids she produced. She does have one other daughter, but that's another story. So Cezar and Tekla are pretty much, on their own. And from that, they develop a really great father-daughter relationship, and Cezar absolutely adores her. She's his world. That's not to say he doesn't love his boys. Obviously he does, but they're not his little girl, you know what I mean? So he's very dedicated to her and will go out of his way for that. But yeah, that's most of Cezar's story. I've tried to cut it down a bit because the actual bulk of his story is kind of long and complicated, and we're in the middle of tweaking some things with the actual story. So that's pretty much the gist of it. after Lyra's plan fails and he's not been able to use his ransom, his sister ends up on the throne through a series of events, and he works as her advisor until she gets married. After she gets married, her husband takes over that role, and he does in fact focus on his music more, and of course raising his children. He is a good father, not a great father, but he's a good one. He does care about them. He's definitely not a deadbeat dad who just leaves them to be, leaves them to their own devices. He tried to raise them as best he can. He does feel like he failed a bit with his boys, because he tried to raise them as he was raised, and that obviously did not work out very well because he himself is a disaster. So with Tekla, he tried to be a little different, but his children are very important to him, and he does love them very much. And like I said before, Lyra is a bit of a sore spot for him. She continues to cause problems in his life, and rather than be one of those people who are like, just get out, leave me alone, he can't do it. He can't. He struggles with it until he eventually dies of liver failure. We have gotten that far in the story. He does eventually pass. But yeah, Cezar is easily one of my favorite, probably my most developed character. And I love him a lot. Like, the story that he's in is really important to me and my roommate, and we've spent a lot of time writing and developing, and we just spend time talking about these characters that mean so much to us. So it was really nice to just do an updated piece for him and, kind of share him with the world again, because my DeviantArt used to be full of him. There's still lots of stuff in there. But yeah, if you like what you see, or if you want to know more about Cezar, definitely hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you like it down in a comment below, and here are some more videos for you to check out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye.